Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12. Midday, we have more extreme fire weather in the forecast for today, as we'll have more lightning in the forecast and the fuels are looking extremely dry. And coming up later in the show, I'll show you just how dry they actually are. But the areas of emphasis today will be Siskiyou County, Jackson County, and Josephine County, although we'll be keeping a very close eye on Klamath County. Let's go ahead and put all this into motion, all the smoke into motion, that is, with our near-surface smoke forecast. And of course, we have some very bad air quality right now in Lake County. That's due to some very thick smoke from the bedrock fire. And by the time we get to 5 p.m., there's still going to be some pockets of thicker smoke in areas downwind of some of the fires. And then as we head later into the evening, overnight, into the early morning hours of Thursday, we could see some very thick smoke once again flowing into northern portions of Klamath County and into Lake County. And this would be once again from the bedrock and lookout fires. And then into Thursday, it's looking like we go through pretty much the exact same cycle, except I think the smoke could start to thicken up a little bit in Siskiyou County. The head fire is still a relatively new fire, along with some of the other fires that started just yesterday in Siskiyou County, obviously. But that's important because the smoke model, since the fires are so new, it kind of has a hard time really determining where the smoke is going to go, how much smoke is going to be put out. So that is something Matt and I will be tracking very closely over the coming days. But just know that our air quality in general is going to be much worse than it has been. Luckily, we are tracking some rain this midday without any lightning, although that could change a little bit later today. Just some very light showers for right now in Lake County, but we're expecting it to become more widespread into the afternoon and evening. And when we start to, when the atmosphere starts to tap into some of that daytime heating, that's when some of those showers could turn into some thunderstorms. And unfortunately, it's looking like once the sun goes down, well, all the activity will continue. It's hard to say right now how much lightning will go on into the overnight hours and into the morning on Thursday, but I'd assume that lightning would probably go down just a little bit, at least in terms of intensity and coverage. But then into tomorrow, we're expecting some more thunderstorms to flare back up, this time a lot more widespread compared to the past couple of days. So the bottom line is that we have more lightning in the forecast over the next few days, and that's going to pose a big risk for fires to start and spread quickly, just like what we saw happen yesterday. So for today, other than the thunderstorms, it's going to be very hot, as we could be upwards of 110 for portions of the west side valleys of southern Oregon. And then for tonight, of course, we'll be dealing with some very thick smoke from all of the area fires. It's going to be very balmy overnight, as overnight lows are going to have a hard time making it below 75 degrees in Medford. Again, that's not the high temperature, that's the low temperature. Thankfully, the good news in all of this is that the extreme heat is set to end by the time we get to Friday. We'll finally be back below 100 degrees. Unfortunately, we'll still have several chances for lightning in the forecast over the next 7 days. And that overlap of dry fuels and lightning, well, that's going to be the worst over the next couple of days, but we'll still track some critical fire weather impacts for Friday through Sunday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the coast. We could have a few showers along the coast, but I think the bulk of the lightning is going to be reserved for inland areas. Of course, we're very concerned about more fires starting today in Siskiyou County, and then also for the basin. You know, the fuels out there, not as dry as what we're seeing in Siskiyou County, but still pretty dry. And then for the mountains, we'll also really be tracking the same predicament. And for the Rogue Valley, up around 110 for today. Fuels also pretty dry here in the Rogue Valley, so we'll have extreme fire weather for today and tomorrow.